News 46 is brought to you by Inspiration Senior Living, where we provide affordable elegance to Pahrump area seniors. Give us a call at 751-2300 and make an appointment to tour our community. News is also brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, behind closed doors with a brothel owner. A road rage incident ends with shots fired. And the Senior Center Monster Mash will be held Saturday night. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Monique Mitchell. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell. News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, October 20th, 2015. I'm Monique Mitchell for News 46. Well, our own Deanna O'Donnell caught up with brothel owner Dennis Hof regarding the Lamar Odom incident in which Lamar was found unconscious after 3 days of partying with two girls at the Love Ranch in Crystal, Nevada. Lamar was transported to Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles last night from Sunrise Hospital in Las Vegas, where he is making a miraculous recovery, according to the family. He has taken a few steps and is talking after his alleged drug overdose. Dennis Hof told News 46 he thought it was a suicide attempt. Reports are that Hof is refusing to pay the girls that were with Odom because he believes that they have used drugs with the 35-year-old former NBA star.
Ever since Lamar Odom, former NBA star and estranged husband of Khloe Kardashian, was found unconscious here in Crystal, Nevada at a brothel called the Love Ranch, Dennis Hof has been speaking to the media. He also wanted to make sure that our local media heard what happened that day and what actually goes on at the Love Ranch.
Saturday, he said, come get me. So my manager, TJ Moore, went and picked him up herself. I didn't want to send a driver. And they had a nice conversation in the car. He talked about his mom passing away at a young age. He talked about his father's drug issues. Talked about how Kardashians are and how vindictive Khloe is. The conversation that people don't know about that I'm going to share with you is that in the car, they talked about Madison Montag. Now, Madison Montag is the first transsexual, pre-op transsexual to work at a brothel, working at the Love Ranch. Madison had been talking to Lamar on social media, going back and forth on Instagram, private messaging, and the manager said, are you going out there to see Madison? He says, well, I want to see everybody. I want to meet everybody before I make a decision. So they got there, and he picked two girls, Ryder Cherry and a girl named Monica Monroe. I don't set a price on anybody because I think that's degrading for an owner to say this girl's worth this girl's worth this. So the girls are true independent businesswomen and they can negotiate the price. There wasn't much negotiation because they said, well, what do you want to do, Lamar? How much fun you want to have? He says, I want to give each one of you $37,500. I want you to be with me a minimum of 4, maximum of 5 days, and anything goes. We're going to party, we're going to have some fun, and you're going to be with me 24 hours a day in and out of the bedroom, whether that's eating Kentucky Fried Chicken because they ate a lot of that, or just hanging out in the bar and having cocktails. So they booked the money. Sunday night afternoon, he gets a call from somebody, and he's a little irritated, a little somber, if you will, and the conversation was about the Kardashians show. And they did a rerun on him where he didn't think he looked good, and he didn't look good, from what everybody tells me. Monday, great day, had a good time. He got another good night's sleep. Then Monday night, he decided he wanted to be by himself. The girls checked on him about 6 in the morning, and he was fine, snoring. And then at 3 o'clock, the girls checked on him again, and now he's unconscious. Foam coming out of his mouth. The management rushes in there, and they call 911. The ambulance comes. The Nye County Sheriff's Department arrives. Immediately, they told my staff member that followed him in his own car, it doesn't look like he's going to make it. And if he does make it, he's going to have some serious damages. Lamar put us in a situation where we had to deal with things. We had to. And I think it was the prudent decision to do that, to let the world know, no, they're not doing drugs in my place. No, we don't tolerate that, and we never will. In fact, if there was any kind of evidence, which there isn't, that the girls were involved in, I'd be the first one talking to the DA to help him prosecute them.
This is Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.
And we have a special report tonight beginning at 6 p.m. called Behind Closed Doors, in which Deanna O'Donnell goes in depth with Dennis Hof and others about this case. Also tune into our broadcast tomorrow night to find out more. Well, one of Hof's former employees spoke to News 46 about her experience.
Like I said, I only worked there for 6 months, but I never saw an intoxicated client. I never saw drugs. There was actually, I remember one night there was a few guys that were a bit too drunk and they got thrown out. And, you know, maybe wouldn't have been respectful to the girls, we call them girls, but to the women that they were to party with. A party is just a session. And so anyone that was belligerent or drunk would get thrown out. I never saw any celebrities. I certainly did get what one would call high rollers, you know, spending good amounts of cash. And then you get the guys that maybe can't spend thousands of dollars and, you know, you try to work with them, you negotiate. You know, I understand not everyone's rich, but I also wanted to make a little bit of my own money, right? So like Dennis said, you work in the middle, right? The brothel isn't just for a rich man, it's for any man. You know, you can negotiate.
That's true, isn't it? Because we have locals here in town who use the brothels, and then you have people who are coming in from Vegas who are using the brothels, and they come to you guys with a price in mind of what they can spend.
Right. Yeah, and you know, they might have a price in mind that I always had a price in my mind, and this is just me, I can't speak for other women, but I always had an hourly that I wouldn't really go beneath. That was just my price. And, you know, I'd wiggle a little wiggle room, a couple $100 or so or whatever. I'd try to work with guys. But if they went too much below it, I would just very kindly say, you know, this isn't going to work out, but I'm happy to bring you to another lovely lady. You know, what we do is try to keep business in the house. So if this gentleman, maybe he can't afford me, or maybe I'm not his flavor or whatever, well, here, meet so-and-so. Not to say her prices are lower, but the thing is, we don't know each other's prices. We're independent contractors. They can negotiate maybe something that I wasn't able to.
I've spoke to other women at other brothels around town before, and they spoke a lot about special needs clients.
I did have some disabled, special needs, ED, erectile dysfunction. I guess I was kind of surprised to learn this. What I really learned, I think, is that men, they come to the brothel for sex, right? A lot of them. At the end of the day, there's usually sex involved, but not always. I had parties where there was no sex. A lot of them just want to talk. A lot of them are lonely. I don't work there anymore, but I used to hear the story all the time. My wife, she passed away. I'm lonely. I had, you know, some gentlemen pretty much dying of terminal diseases, or their wives the same, you know, and they're just not the scumbags you think they are. You know what I mean? They were just honest, nice, hardworking guys that wanted to have a little bit of a good time, and also someone non-judgmental and confidential to talk to.
We will have more with Christina Perea on tomorrow night's broadcast. All right, folks, well, coming up after this break, we're going to have more local news for you after these messages.